What's up, you frag addicts? In this video, I'm going to be talking about my last haul of 2024 or first haul of 2025. Most of these fragrances I did purchase or trade for before 2025, but there's still some stuff that's on its way, and there's some stuff that I just got this year. So we're just going to put it that way. I don't know what to consider it. Maybe we're going to consider this the first haul of 2025. And if it's the first haul, then we're starting off with a bang. So to begin with, I kind of got rid of a few fragrances in my collection, made up some space, and made a few trades to get these fragrances. But let's see, what's going to be the least interesting? I would say the least interesting, and I kind of purchased it because of my girl. She was disappointed that I got rid of this, and I was kind of disappointed that I got rid of this. And it's a discontinued fragrance, but I was able to find it. It's going to be replicas at the barbershop. Label's a little messed up, but I don't really care. It is a tester with the sticker there. So I used to have this fragrance. This was actually my first, maybe second. It was probably my second barbershop fragrance, I guess. So Viking was obviously my first one. This one was I think this would be considered my second one. Smells like you're at the barber's. Shaving cream. Let me spray this. It's like that shaving cream, bit of lemon, leather. It's a really nice smell. I don't really know why I got rid of it. It's actually a slept-on fougere or barbershop scent. Really good. I think I probably just, grew tired of it, and I was looking to get more fragrance. Actually, no, I sold it when I sold a lot of my collection, so that's why I sold this fragrance, actually. But yeah. Happy to have it back in my collection. This time it's not going to go just because of how hard it is to find now. But if you haven't tried it, good luck trying it. It's an easy to get into fougere or barbershop scent. It's probably like the best starting point you could have. I don't know. I did discontinue this one. I actually think this is probably one of their better fragrances. Even their new releases, I forgot which one's the one that smells decent. I think it's like On the Moon or something, but this one's still way better than that. But yeah, spraying it out in the air, it's a really nice scent. Up next, let's see, what do I want to go with? I will go with a trade. Well, actually, I'll mention a few. I'll mention this. I also got a Precious Liquid envelope with two decants, or two pretty big samples. One's Sangria Oak, and the other is, let's see, Iris Sorbet. So I've never tried any Precious Liquid fragrances. Open to trying them. And they also brought some test strips, which is pretty cool. So pretty cool envelope that they put together. That's going to be for another video though. Alright, so let's start with the first part of Neil. Neil's always taking care of me if we made a swap. He actually... What's it called? So we did swap. I traded him Apex, so he does have Apex now. He sold me on fragrance without directing a comment at me. So I was watching an old TLTG live stream, and I see a comment from, of course, Mr. Neil. And Mr. Neil, he said that this fragrance smelled like Ombre Nomad. So He said the oud in this fragrance smelled like Ombre Nomad. This is my first Argos fragrance. It's going to be Sharon's Veil. Pretty cool bottle. Just from that comment, Neil kind of sold me on it because I was still kind of like, eh. I was looking at that live stream just because I was interested in the new release, and I did get a few Argos fragrances that I bought last year but still have not come in. But I did a trade, and this is Sharon's Veil. Very cool presentation, very cool bottle, very cool box. Even the box that it just comes in is a very high quality box. I thought it was more like one of those cardboard boxes, but it's more like a book cover, like a hard book cover, which is interesting. All right. I have worn this for like 30 minutes. So I wore a little bit the other day when I first got it in just to test it. I don't really get the Ombre Nomad. Maybe slightly. But I get more of Oud Satin Mood by MFK. Specifically the extrait. The way the rose comes off, it has like the same plastic. It's weird that it comes off like a plasticky rose, if that makes sense at all. That's the same way I feel about Oud Satin Mood, the extrait, when I tried it. It's like a plastic that I don't even know how to explain, but it gets past that point. I could see how it could be situational for some people, and I also think this is the wrong color. I think this bottle needs to be a purple liquid. That's what it feels like it should be. For it to be Sharon's Veil, I don't, this is all fiery and, underworld type of thing. Let me see. So it says top notes rose, heart notes patchouli, sandalwood, oud, atlas cedar, and base notes cistus labdanum and saffron. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this should be more of like a purple fragrance, and you guys know how I feel about my purple style fragrances. I love them. But I would say I could kind of see Ombre Nomad very far. It's like way farther from Ombre Nomad than it is from Oud Satin Mood Extrait. And this is, yeah, I just realized, look how much I got left on the bottle. That's not that much. So I kind of share this one, unless I want to buy a new bottle. But anyways, it's more like a spicy Oud Satin Mood Extrait. So I'll just leave it at that. I'll move on to the next thing. Neil also sent a discovery set of imaginary authors beach reads. So pretty cool. I have not smelled any imaginary fragrance and have not sprayed any yet. I'm just gonna save this for a video. We have to get Neil to start his channel. We've kind of talked about it. He's interested in starting. He feels like he should have already started, or he feels like he should start. Not too sure why he's not starting. So we should probably, force him to start. I think that'd be a good start. I think it'll be fun. It's kind of hard. Before I started the channel, I kind of thought about it a lot, and then I kind of just decided to do it. Made the first video. I don't even want to look back at that video. I don't want to look back at any of my videos. But I mean, that was a little bit over a year ago. And now I enjoy making content. Like right now, I got home from work. It's 6:30 in the morning. I could have waited to make this video tomorrow. But I kind of just wanted to make the video. I feel like I pre-recorded a few things or a lot of things. Just because of my work schedule, I do work a decent amount. So I kind of try to, have videos recorded ahead of time. If not, there's certain times that I kind of just disappear for a bit. That's probably because I don't have pre-recorded videos and I don't have time to make more videos. But yeah. Anyways, and let's go ahead and get into the last few bottles. They are Louis Vuitton fragrances. There is no bottle in here right now just because I took everything out and I just filled it with the samples of the Louis Vuitton fragrances. The Louis Vuitton shopping experience online is way better than in stores. Besides the one time I went to Seattle with a very nice representative that took care of me. I forgot what her name was. Check that video out. Very nice. Buy things from her if you want to buy stuff from Louis Vuitton. But I did not. I kind of just bought it online. I didn't text her. I probably should have because it was pretty decent order. And this is not all of them. Let's just put it that way. So we will start off with my 200 ml of Imagination. Now, I've worn this already. I wore it today as my scent of the day. I did get, I think it was like 6 compliments today, which was insane. Longevity, insane. Even though I could not smell it after maybe like the 5 or 6 hour mark, it was still going strong. People were still stuck in my sillage. I knew I had to get 200 mLs of this, and I do have the gold engraving on it. Specifically, there's dates, special dates of me and my girl are engraved in each one. So, Imagination, 200 ml, just because I knew that I was gonna run through this, or not run through it. I know I was gonna probably not want to trade it. I did have a sample that I just, every time I sprayed it on myself, I was like, I have to get this at some point. Yeah, and I'd rather spend the extra, maybe I think it was like $90 to get the bigger or double the size than just leave like that. So that's Imagination. Next is another one that when I wore the sample of this one, my girl loves it. I don't know if she loves this one more than Imagination. I think she might. It's going to be Meteor by Louis Vuitton. Again, it's also engraved with a specific date of my girl and I. It's weird to have the 200 ml size bottle and then having the regular size bottle. It doesn't feel like, this doesn't feel like an 100 ml bottle, but this is a really nice fragrance. The light purple makes sense. It would even if it's like, if this is considered like a dark blue, I have no idea. It makes sense for what the color is. It makes sense for what the DNA is. I have not worn this one. Actually, I think I did. I wore it for like 2 hours. I wore it the day I got it. Wore it to the movie theaters, and this one's a strong scent. This one I don't go nose blind to. From when I wore it, I would have assumed that I would have probably gone nose blind. It was actually more than 2 hours. I went to the movies, did a few things after the movies. And I was still going pretty strong. So, Meteor, slept on fragrance from Louis Vuitton. It's probably one of their better ones. I've put it up here with, I'll definitely put it above La Mentité. I would probably put this as their third best fragrance. And it's probably one of the most slept on fragrances. Les Sable Roses, I love, but it kind of falls flat quick. That's why I didn't buy a bottle. I've had enough samples of it, and I've tried it a few times. Pacific Chill's pretty good. City of Stars is pretty good, but I would still say Meteor is still better. Afternoon Swim is also pretty good, but like again, Meteor is still better. So people that have, and another thing is, people that have issues with Imagination of like longevity wise, I can't say I agree. And when I got the bottle, it was really cold. I think it was 17 or 18 degrees outside. And this was probably the guy's last shipment. Where like the last package I had to deliver, and the bottles were like pretty much, they had condensation on it just from opening the box. And I guess the heat in the apartment compared to the temperature outside, being in the truck all night, because I didn't get the bottle until like 9 o'clock at night. And the last one, let's go ahead and get with the last one. It's going to be Ombre Nomad. So to me, Ombre Nomad has always been the staple of my fragrance collection. Not coming to an end, but it's pretty much like this was like my last fragrance, and I'm probably going to slow down a bit afterwards. So I kind of always held up on buying Ombre Nomad for that reason. But here it is. Let's go ahead and spray it. This is my first time actually spraying it. This is the first one. Well, this is the only time. The other two I sprayed already when I opened it, but Ombre Nomad I didn't just because my girl was here. If you guys don't know, Ombre Nomad was one of the first clone fragrances. So it was Ombre by Maison Alhambra. I got the clone of Ombre Nomad because I smelled Ombre Nomad on some guy at the airport. I used to work at Clear. For you guys who know that is, I used to work there. So constantly being next to people and having someone wear Ombre Nomad was great. And then I smelled it on someone else, smelled great. And then it was like on the third person that I smelled it, and I was like, I had to ask, what are you wearing? And he said Ombre Nomad by Louis Vuitton. Keep in mind, these were just, passengers that I've different days. It's not like the same day. And I just kept on smelling the smell, and I'm like, what is this fragrance? He finally told me, that guy told me Ombre Nomad. I saw the clone on Amazon. Wasn't really into fragrances at the time, and I just decided to buy it. For me, it was close enough. I didn't care about spending $400 on a bottle, especially if I just had this clone fragrance that smelled close enough for like $25. But then I started getting more into fragrances, and I was like, I knew eventually I had to buy Ombre Nomad, and it's a staple in my journey for myself. The way I see Ombre Nomad is kind of like the beginning, somewhat. I did have Creeds before that. I did have Aventus. I had Viking. I had the one for years. I had Sauvage for years at that point. Even Versace Dylan Blue. That was actually one of the first fragrances I've had it. I had like old formulation, or not old formulation, just an old, maybe 2019, 2018. If I'm thinking correctly. But yeah, Ombre Nomad was the first besides Viking and Aventus, it was like that first one. Actually, no, this is the first fragrance I smelled on somebody, and I was kind of blown away of how they smelled. Aventus I never smelled on anybody beforehand, and Viking I never smelled on anybody. Viking was a complete blind buy. I actually bought it on FragranceNet, and I overpaid for it when I first bought it. I didn't know about any other discounters. And Aventus, my girl bought my first bottle retail, and I don't remember how I bought the second bottle. I don't remember if it was retail. Actually, I think it might have been. I think it was at Bloomingdale's. Then I smartened up on like the third bottle and realized that there's discounters out there. And now we're on the fourth. So same thing with my Viking bottle. Fortunately, we're on discounters, and I got the big bottle. My first bottle was a smaller bottle. But yeah, this is my first part of my last 2024 purchase / 2025 first haul. Starting with the bang, and this is not everything I have purchased. There's maybe, I'm trying to think, there's 1, 2, maybe like 5 more fragrances. I called you guys fragrance addicts, and takes one to know one. So, yeah, I mean, a little bit of spring cleaning, 2025 cleaning. Left some fragrances in 2024 and moved on to 2025. Neil, I hope you were enjoying Apex. I enjoyed Apex, but the way you described Sharon's Veil kind of, pushed me to do that trade. I didn't think I was going to reach for Apex over Absolute Aventus or Sauvage Elixir. So it was kind of like, I'd rather give it up for something that I don't have in my collection. So I don't have something like this in my collection. I'm happy to have it in my collection. But technically now I do have something similar to this since I now have this. But either way, I was thinking about getting Oud Satin Mood. With this fragrance, it kind of takes it off my list, I would say, because it's very similar. It's just like a different, it's like in the same family, but it could be like really close, like first cousins. Instead of it being Ombre Nomad or something closer to Ombre Nomad, I think that would be like maybe like fifth or sixth cousins, maybe not even cousins. I would say like maybe like an old family friend or something to Ombre Nomad. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Long video. Oops. Please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what your last fragrance purchases of 2024 and your first purchases of 2025. Let me know what they were. I'm trying to do a no-buy for 2020 or for the month of January for 2025. So far it's going well. Don't really have any urge to buy any fragrances right now. But I also have a lot of fragrances on the way, so it's kind of like, you got to just balance it. Budget. If you can't, right now it's just like I kind of just spent a lot of money on, well, even though I got rid of a lot of stuff, I still consider it like I spent a lot of money in my last haul. So I'll leave it be for a bit. I'm not into really, I don't even know why I keep dragging the video, but just in this last topic, I'm not really into just, doing first impressions, really. So it's kind of dumb for me to just buy a lot of fragrances when I'm not going to make a first impressions on it. Even though sometimes I do. I'd rather wear it and maybe add it to like a top 10 video or somewhere I could give you where I could, talk about the fragrance a little bit. Just because first impressions, you kind of just smell it first sniff and you're kind of like, well, I like it, or no, I don't like it. And then, I'm talking about this now. Watch the next video you're going to see is first impressions about something. No regrets. Part 1, done. Let me know. That's all I have for you guys today. Please leave a like, subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.